Hello, my friends, and welcome back. I'm Chisgule Gaming, and in today's video, sponsored by the makers of Call of Dragons, I want to talk about my recent transfer and give you an account update. We'll do both of those things in this video. So those of you that tuned into my live stream recently, where I was pushing for the Heights of Power, you know that we merged with SSG, and we took basically 80 or so of the strongest players in BDO, the strongest players in SSG, and we merged them together. And there's a number of reasons why we did this, but I think the simplest explanation is when Duz, the leader of BDO, said, either we push to be the very best, or we should all do something else with our time. And there it is. I mean, it's that simple. And that mindset absolutely resonates with me. 100% that mindset resonates with me, where it's like, yeah, like either we're trying to be among the best, or we should just be doing something else with our time. And there it is. So all together right now, people are moving around between alliances, but we're like at 175 out of 200. We're a casual 24 billion. We actually full power are like 27 and a half, 28 billion power, something like that. I'll put a picture up on screen of what we look like when everybody's actually together for a brief period of time. We had that. Right now there's event registration going on. People are teching up shells. I need to go tech up a shell. I just did breaking through, which is why I'm here. But, you know, just touching back on this transfer for a moment, again, I'll point out that the leadership burden in this game and the amount of stuff you need to do is through the roof. The amount of activity you need to have as a player is through the roof. And so combining together two leadership teams is, in my opinion, kind of meta for addressing burnout of leaders and also giving you coverage. Because assuredly, in the short term, it's actually an additional coordination burden to have twice as many people that need to coordinate stuff. But I don't know, in the mid to long term, like the boost of working together is going to be absolutely insane. I'm really looking forward to what we ultimately will become. Okay. Now, for those of you that were attending the live stream, you're probably wondering, well, Chisgule, did you get the theme here? And like, obviously I did. So I pushed power to 177 million power. It was pretty fun to do all that training. It was a pretty major power push. And if we get a look here, you can see that I got fourth. At the end of the day, whether or not you get fourth or first, honestly, doesn't even matter. You just need to be top 10 to get the permanent unlock of the theme to then go and get the adornment. And a part of what's cool about these seals of power is that they now have changed such that they do not expire at the end of the event. So what I can go and do in a future event, if I want the 10% theme and not even an adornment, is train 15 million power, and I can just get a 10% theme from the shop again, which is pretty sick. I mean, honestly, like that's so cool. So I will definitely be doing that at some point in the future. And it's not a coincidence that for the most part, you see people training in increments of 5 million power. I do want to commend the developers on the design of Heights of Power. I think this illustrates what a well-designed event can look like, especially compared to counterparts in this genre of game. Just chef's kiss. I really like the way that Heights of Power is done here. It's excellent. So with all that said, people pointed out in my stream, like, well, bro, 10% infantry health would have been better than, you know, what you have here. And that's true. I'd rather have the 10% infantry health than the 13% defense. It is what it is, guys. I needed to train like 70 to 80 million power to be at bottom of the top 10 for this theme at the time that it released. So it was just too competitive for me at the time. And even now, like have been training incrementally leading up to this Heights of Power because I needed the infantry. So I was training. So, you know, maybe if I had saved and saved and saved, I could have done that much power, but I don't think so, man. So yeah, I got the theme. I got the adornment, super hype. This is definitely better than the 5% health I was using before. At least I feel pretty confident that, you know, health is not more than twice as good as defense. But infantry are weird because they get a bunch of defense when they get low. So there is some weirdness with infantry and defense, and I'm very much looking forward to whatever artifact we get next. This one is, in my opinion, not the Rally Garrison meta, but it has health and attack, which is really nice. I would love to see, obviously, because I have a defense theme now, things other than defense, which, you know, the meta here is, of course, the Spirit Bone Torque, right? But whatever. The other big plus of having trained all these troops is I now can, like, actually, unironically, field the things I want to field. Like, I could barely do 3 marches of cavalry before. So now we're in a much better spot. So much better. I have enough infantry to slay every single inf I have and still have 2 million next season. So feels good. I mean, yeah, that's nice. And by the way, last season I did get down to 1 single march of infantry. And by the way, I did that by filling with only the captain. So just putting captain marches into bastions, I got down to almost no infantry, which is kind of crazy. The other reason I wanted a bunch of calves is I don't know if the new cav garrison is actually going to be a thing, but if it is, I really need to have the calves to participate in that. So this quantity of calves is, you know, lets me field and for a time participate in filling without losing field marches, which is going to be really nice. So really, really happy about this elevation of my account, quite frankly. So we're kind of chilling now, looking forward to the new infantry, right? We're in a new kingdom. We've merged the highest activity, highest contribution players from both teams. I have the theme. I have enough of the G4 tokens saved up so that when these heroes show up, I'll actually be able to max them, which is going to be nice. So plenty of tokens in the bank here. We're chilling, man. We're kind of big chilling moving into this, which is, man, it's going to be so good. Now, wait a minute. I'm so close to the skill upgrade on this guy. Why haven't I done this? Oh, no, I'm not so close. Okay. Well, I'll get there eventually. GG's. In terms of hero projects, I suppose you might be interested. Still working on the cavalry garrison. This is my priority now. I think it'll be really handy to have yet another city garrison in a worst case. In a best case, I actually end up being a backup garrison with calves. We'll see. I'm not going to make this pet my priority, but I have a good foundation for that if I want it. And I suppose the BDO transfer is a really good illustration that even if you are sticking with your group, you might need to transfer. Transferring in part sheds all the dead weight if you can find a lean enough kingdom to go into. And so I would strongly recommend that you pick these up every single week. There were some people who were struggling for the permits, but because dude, it's so crazy. Like, even though I'm like ride or die BDO and I had no intention of ever going anywhere, I kept buying these permits week over week. And you could even combine it with like alliance mobilization, gem spending, right? And that saves you the heartache and headache or wallet ache of having to spend a bunch when, you know, if you decide to transfer and you don't have the permits to go where you need to go. I think it was like 55 permits for me to transfer, maybe 60. I honestly kind of can't remember, but I only have 5 left. But having bought these over a long period of time really worked out for me. Even just buying the $5 bundle periodically, if you wanted to, is kind of a slick play. I probably should be doing that if I haven't already this month. Probably I will even buy this tier of the bundle. Because I think, what is it? You get 1 for $5, 2 for $10, but then isn't it like 3 for 20, 4 for 50, 5 for 100? Like, bro, if you have to get these in a rush, it's not just a glorious journey. It is a pricey journey. So get that value over time. Even a guy like me who was ride or die and had no intention of leaving the group I was playing with Head save those up. You should too. All right. You enjoy the vid, throw a like on here, subscribe. Should be really hyped to see kind of what we do next. We've basically doubled the number of leaders we have, doubled the number of people that can put a captain march in. We got some really good captains here. I'm noticing now my camera's looking a little dark. I got to go figure out what the heck's wrong with this camera. I just got to replace the thing. I just got to throw it away. Whatever. You enjoyed the vid, throw a like on here, subscribe. Check the cards in the end screen. You want to check out the live stream where I was training? It was kind of fun. Check it out, all right? Until next time, you have fun smashing your enemies. Take care, everybody.